Hey everybody, it's March 31st, 2023. This is a quick video on how to use the Disproportionately Large Trade screen. I have published several updates over the last several days, and there's some new functionality that I want to outline. And here we go. So for those of you that are new to the site that may not know what these columns mean, let me walk you through them real quick. We have the time of the trade, we have the ticker, we have a little magnifying glass here that will give us some additional details. We can click this link here and get a chart. We have the closing price, the trade price, the sector, and the industry. And we can click on either of these links to filter out all trades by this sector or by this industry. We have the number of shares, which is summarized here, but you can hover over it and see the exact count if you want. We have the dollar size, the trade size measured in dollars here. And for any of these, you can always hover over the title and get a little description. We have dollars here, and you can hover over this and see the actual dollar amount. We have relative size here. Relative size is the size as it compares to the average size. So, for every ticker, the average size of the trade in dollars, the average size of all trades for that ticker as measured in dollars is computed, and the relative size shows how large this particular trade is relative to the average. So this trade is 6.23 times larger than its average size trade, and this trade is 19.93 times larger than its average size trade. So only trades are or this measurement only goes for trades of like tickers, of the same ticker. So for all CVS trades, this one is 19.93 times larger. For all ACAD trades, this one is 6.23 times larger, and so on. Percentile, this, for you stats folks, is the cumulative distribution. So all trades are ranked and given a percentile ranking between 0 and 100. And the larger the trade as measured in dollars, the higher the percentile rank is. So this gives you a different measure of how to compute, or how to measure, I should say, rarity, just like relative size. Rank, every trade here is ranked, given a rank between 1 and infinity, however large the, or however many trades there are for a given ticker. And if a given trade ranks in the top 100, it's cited. You can see this is 97th largest, and this is 14th largest, and this is 31st largest. But you can see a lot of these are left with a dash, meaning that the trade ranks higher than 100, and therefore is not worthy of being called out, because no one's really interested in the 4,834th ranked trade. That's just a middle-of-the-road, non-meaningful trade. But trades that are here in the top 100 may be meaningful, so we call those out. Lastly, we have this last date column. This is the last date at which a trade of this size, as measured in dollars, so in this case $12.4 million, was traded. So for this trade that came in today, this ACAD trade, it last traded $12.4 million or larger back on March 17th, 2023. And this trade here for DQ, which came in at $48 million, last traded this large or larger on December 16th, 2022. So this just gives you another way to measure rarity. All four of these columns here together are important because there are 4 different ways to find trades that are unusual, and size can be measured in different ways. We can have the size as it pertains to the average size. We can have its percentile ranking between 1 and 100. We can have a numeric ranking, and we can measure rarity sometimes just by seeing the last time a trade of a given size came in. So there are plenty of instances where a trade comes in and it hasn't traded this large in 3 months, so it's, reasonably large, but it's not ranked. And maybe it's in the, the 98th percentile, so it doesn't jump out as 99th or 100th percentile. And maybe the relative size is small. And this happens when tickers are thinner, when there are fewer trades. So There are also times when the relative size is very large. You can see that a trade might be, 100 or 200 times average size. But at the same time, it traded that size yesterday or the day before. That happens with Apple and Microsoft and SPY and some of the more liquid and popular tickers. So if I sort this column, and each of these columns can be sorted, it's going to sort by relative size first here, and it goes ascending. We click it again, and we get it sorted descending, and we can quickly see that the largest relative sized trades appear at the top. This trade is 227 times larger than average. It's really, really big. It's $1.79 billion, and it ranks 28th. But we can scroll down and see other highly ranked trades here that are only 30x average size. So it just varies by ticker. Some are going to be, for Microsoft and Apple that trade really, really large every single day, it's going to take a trade that's 200 or 300 times average size to be ranked in the top 100 because they get so many trades. But maybe a less liquid ticker like Adobe here gets a top 100 ranked trade, and it's only 30 times average size. And you'll also notice the dollars are different. So this is a $1.8 billion trade. This is a huge, huge trade. And it ranks 28th. But this one here for NVIDIA, which ranks higher, is a fraction of the size. I mean, it's still a lot of money, $791 million, but NVIDIA doesn't trade as often or as heavily as Microsoft. So it takes less money for a trade to be ranked in or higher among all the other trades. So some of these things are highlighted in yellow. $billion trades are highlighted in yellow, just to call them out. I think that's a meaningful measure of size. So, this $1.1 billion trade isn't even ranked for SPY because SPY gets so many trades, and the largest of the large are much larger than 1.1 billion. But you can see that it last traded this large 2 months ago. So, it's reasonably important. It doesn't have to be ranked in the top 100 or fall in, at 200 or 300 times average size in order for it to be a meaningful trade. So each of these measures here gives you a different way to slice the data, to look at the data, to measure the data. And the goal is always to find the trades that stand out the most, that are the most unusual, the most irrational, the most notable. And so these give you different ways to do that. It's important to know context, or to have context. So just seeing that a trade was 1 million shares doesn't mean anything necessarily. 1 million shares means a lot more to a thinner traded ticker than a more thickly traded ticker. $1 billion is, maybe, important for most tickers. They are called out, but $1 billion on SPY doesn't even rank in the top 100. But maybe $1 billion trade on a ticker that's less well known, like, I don't know, Pepsi here. If we got $1 billion trade on Pepsi, that would really jump out. That would make me want to spend some time researching Pepsi and to try and figure out what might be going on, and maybe I want to place a trade. And that brings me to sort of the point of this whole thing. This exercise, this screen is useful because, and the site in general is useful because it helps you find unusual activity. What are institutions doing that is abnormal? It helps you look for opportunities. It doesn't tell you automatically this is a buy or this is a sell. It doesn't tell you that you should even place a trade. It just tells you where to look. It tells you, okay, something's going on here with XYZ Corp. So I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to take a look at the trades. I'm going to go through my normal process for deciding if I want to enter or exit a trade. And that may involve some technical analysis, and that may involve an Elliott wave pattern, or that may involve some other methodology, some proprietary methodology. It may involve any number of steps. And that's up to you. That's your process. What this is useful for is it tells you where to look. So you don't have to watch 5,000 charts. This tells you, okay, well, something's going on with AMD. Right here we got a top 100 ranked trade, so maybe you want to look at it, and so on and so forth. These icons over here on the left also give you additional information. The blue ones mean that they are traded on the public exchanges, the lit exchanges. The orange ones mean they're traded on dark pools. And you shouldn't assume that dark pool trades are always buys or always sells, and that lit exchange trades are always buys or always sells. It's a mix. They do both. This red bar here tells you that it's overbought, and you can hover over it and see the details. So in this case, it's overbought at the hourly time frame with a value of 85. So anything over 80 is considered overbought. So you might surmise by looking at this row that you have a trade in Apple that is amid overbought conditions. It's nearly $2 billion, which is substantial. It's 130 times average size. It's at the 99.98th percentile, and it ranks in the top 50. And you might think, okay, well, here's something I might want to look further into, and I might be able to make some initial assumptions about what this trade might be. Given that it's overbought, given that it's so large, maybe I can assume, at least at the beginning of this process, that that might be a sell. And then I can do my research and try and decide if I think it is. And that research would be research that's done partially on this site and partially on your own, using whatever tools you like to use. So anyway, this is the display. This shows you where to look, and you can click on these links and you can see charts. So I can click on Microsoft here, and it shows me a Microsoft chart, and by default it shows the top 3 trades for the time frame I've selected, which in this case, every one of these trades is just going to show you what happens on that given day. So I can click NVIDIA here, and I can see the top 3 trades for NVIDIA and where they're placed in the chart. And we can click this gear icon and we can tweak it. We can change the number of trades we like shown. We can change the volume range, the dollar range, and all these other things. But so all these advanced search settings are here, but this is the chart screen. And this is for, well, this is part of the, this is similar to the changes that I've made to the trade screen here. Likewise, you can click on one of these links here, and this will pull up a chart automatically showing you all the activity between the last time a trade of this size executed and today. So this will show me a trade or a chart of Apple between March 21st and today, March 31st. And when I pull that up, I see the 3 largest trades by default. Here's today's trade right here at the end of a rally. I've got the volume profile over here on the right, and the volume here in the bottom. And we've got some levels that are painted automatically where an institutional activity is most present. We can hover over these levels and get a little bit more detail. We can see details over here on the left too. Trade clusters, just another synonym for levels of institutional activity. But if we wanted to take this trade and we want to go and say, well, show me the 10 largest trades over that period of time, we can change that, click apply, it paints the screen again, we get more trades over here on the left, and we can see where the top 10 trades are. And you can tweak this as often as you like and show as many or as few trades as you want to see. You can even show no trades at all. You can show just the largest trade. You can show the 50 largest trades. You can say, well, show me the 3 largest trades, but don't include closing trades because I'm not interested in those, and don't include pre-market trades. And then you can get a different view. And here's your 3 largest trades that aren't closing trades and don't appear during pre-market. And if for whatever reason that was important to you, you could pull up a chart that shows that, and here they are. Here's the 3. You could likewise just say, well, I'm only interested in dark pool trades, and click that. And you can say, give me the 10 largest dark pool trades. And there they are. Dark pool trades are always orange. If for whatever reason you wanted to see just the trades on the lit exchanges, you could flip that to the lit exchanges, click apply, it repaints the screen, and here you go. All the blue ones are public exchange trades. And we could go on and on. You can look at sweeps and blocks. You can look at late prints versus prints that arrive on time, and there's some descriptions here that tell you about what this means. You can set the volume profile to be different, whether you want to show just institutional volume, or if you want to look at the volume profile in terms of dollars or institutional dollars. And I'm speaking of this histogram over here on the right. I can change the volume range. Just show me trades that are 1 million shares or more. Or I can say just show me trades that are $5 million or more. And I can tweak this as much as I want. I can change the percentile, the price range of the trades. If for some reason I wanted to isolate all the trades that were up on here at this level, that's probably a bad example. All the trades that were at this level, for example, I could do that. And I can look and see how much activity was actually right here, where this line is painted. So you have lots of different options to tweak the chart screen and use it like an advanced search. You could even say, show me all the ranked trades for Apple on all exchanges over some period of time. I want to see, let's see, if we want to do like from the first of the year, we change the date range, and we change this back to the default, and this will give me the 50 largest trades that are ranked in the top 100. We click that and give it a second to repaint the screen, and we will see that even though we said up to 50 is okay, it gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trades, and here they are. These are all ranked. And this is an exercise I like to go through to help me see where the largest trades are placed, where institutions are most active. Sometimes this can glean additional information about areas of concentrated activity, or and ranked trades tend to fall closer to the highs and lows and tops and bottoms. So that is a useful exercise for me. So going back to this, though, we talked about all these columns and the meanings of each of these columns. Now let's look at this drop down here. These are search templates. So this comes with a lot of pre-programmed search templates. By default, you're going to be shown the all disproportionately large trade screen, which is all trades that are greater than or equal to 5 times average size. So that means relative size here has to be greater than 5. But I can also flip to all trades, and I can see trades of all sizes. And I won't have the restriction on there about being 5 times larger than average or not. There are a couple other system templates in here that I like to use, and I'll continue to add to this list as I think about what's useful and what makes sense. But these two are queries that I run every day. I want to see the trades that are ranked in the top 100 and have a overbought status and are greater than 5 times average size. And so I can select this, and it's going to repaint the screen, and here they are. Everything's overbought here. Everything has a red bar. So this tells me these are sell candidates. These are things that I might expect to be large sells after a decent rally. I've got a high ranking, I've got a large relative size, and I've got overbought conditions. And then from here, I can sort and rifle through these and look at whatever I want. If for some reason I was only interested in healthcare stocks that met those conditions, I could click healthcare and filter it down. So now I have healthcare stocks that are all overbought, that meet the criteria of being greater than or equal to 5 times relative size and ranked in the top 100. So this gives you an infinite number of permutations that you could experiment with to try and find good trade opportunities. And of course, this information isn't enough on its own. This tells you where institutions are active, but it doesn't tell you if they're buying or selling. It doesn't tell you if price is going to move right away or not. It doesn't tell you even which way price is going to move. Just because you see something that is likely to be a sell or that you decide is a sell doesn't mean that they don't have more to sell. And just because you see a trade that looks like a buy, it may still be a buy, doesn't mean you're going to get a reversal right away. So there are a lot of factors at play. These things sometimes take time. Sometimes you do get instant reversals. It just depends. Every stock trades differently. There are always different conditions, yada, yada, yada. But anyhow, this is a way to see some preset search templates. If you wanted to go and look at just, for example, I don't know, let's do the mega caps. Everybody likes the mega caps. So we can just filter those out really quickly, and we get Microsoft, Apple, Meta, Amazon, Google, NVIDIA, Tesla. And so I will generally check these every day after the close, sometimes during the day, because these are important stocks. And so these presets here automatically give me categories of stocks that are related in some way and that are all 5 times larger than average size or more. And we could do the same thing for commodities, and this will bring up gold and oil and gas and some other things. This is another thing I check often. And then we'll do one more, semiconductors. A lot of attention is being paid to semiconductors, so if I wanted to see what they were doing in aggregate, I could look here, and this gives me highly ranked trades in the semiconductor industry. And then if I wanted to see, I don't know, AMD, click AMD, I get the chart, and here we go. This is what AMD is doing today. And if that's not enough information, I want to see all the trades, click all the trades. And it's going to paint a whole bunch more for us. There we go. Every little trade along the way is shown here. So anyhow, that is how the search templates work. Now, if I want to do a custom advanced search, because I want to build a screen that looks different than all this stuff, I can just click this gear. Clicking this gear, both on this search screen and over here in the chart screen, is just going to show you advanced search options that you can use to modify your search criteria. So going from left to right, we can change the date range, we can just choose specific tickers, we can isolate volume ranges and dollar ranges and price ranges, and we can ask for just overbought or oversold, or both together. We can modify the sector and the industry, we can modify the percentile or the cumulative distribution. All these are just different ways to filter out the results and allow you to search for any specific set of criteria that may be important to you. So if you want the top 50 trades in semiconductors that meet some certain volume range, you could do that. And if you want to change the date range, you can do that too. And then there's some additional options here, just like on the chart screen. I can ask just to see signature prints or normal prints. I can ask just to see late prints or timely prints, dark pools only maybe, and maybe I'm only interested in sweeps or blocks. And then, of course, I can filter out different types of trades. If I don't care about pre-market trades, or if I don't care about after-hours trades, I can check and uncheck these boxes as I choose. And then over here, there's a little legend that explains what some of the icons on the screen mean. So we've got the red here for overbought, the green for oversold, dark pools, lit exchanges, the clock for late print, the broom for sweep, a pen for signature prints, inside bars, double inside bars, and then all the special dates, OPEX, VOLX, end of month, and so on. So I can click there and further filter out whatever I like. So if we, for example, start with, I don't know, the bull leverage trades that came in large today, we have a list here of ERX and SPXL and TNA, so on, but let's say I only care about TNA and ERX. I can just change the tickers, rebuild the screen, and there you go, just the ones I care about. And you'll see that this flips to none selected because now I'm doing a custom search. But say for whatever reason my portfolio is Apple, AMD, Chipotle, and I don't know, oil. And say I'm interested in whatever they're doing over the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. So I change the date range and say I only want anything that's 10 times larger than average. I don't know, we'll just leave it at that. We click apply, and now we can get a more narrow search of just the tickers I care about, just the ones in my fake portfolio that meet the criteria that I'm interested in. So Apple and AMD and USO and what else did I choose? Chipotle, which I'm not sure if it's going to show up in here. So that's it. Now, let's say you have a custom search template you'd like to create and save. Well, that's simple. You just click this icon here, and you can create your own custom search template with whatever criteria you like, and it will appear in this list once you've saved it. Okay, so by default, I don't have any search templates here, so I'm going to click this button to create a new one. And this is my search template configuration screen. So I'm going to put my stocks here as the name. I'm going to say Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and USO. I don't know, and maybe GDX. I'm going to say I want anything that's 5 times larger than average. Actually, let's make it different. Let's say I only care about things that are 20 times larger than average. And I want them to be in the 99.7th percentile. And I want them to have at least 1 million shares. Yeah, and we'll just leave it at that. I want them all to be ranked in the top 50. So this is my arbitrary search criteria. I click Save, and here now I've got one called My Stocks. Here are the tickers that I care about, and these are the search criteria. Return trades when all of the following conditions are met. Volume is of a certain size. And by default, I put 1 million in here, and then the max is 2 billion shares by default. Dollars are between 500,000 and 10 billion. These are also default values that go in if you don't choose anything. And prices between 0 and 100,000. Relative size is greater than 20x average size, and less than or equal to trade rank of 50. And then also, I didn't choose any of these options, but I could have specified if I wanted hourly RSI or daily RSI to have met some criteria. So I'm going to go back and say I want overbought on the hourly to be included in my search criteria. And now we see that hourly RSI has to be overbought. And then these other things here, daily RSI and daily RSI can be between 1 and 100 and so on. And then these are the types of trades that I'm going to return: normal prints, signature prints, late prints, timely prints, and so on. If for whatever reason I wanted to tweak this a little bit, I could just go back and say, you know what, don't include signature prints. And you click Save, and they'll be excluded. So now that we have our My Stocks search template, we go back to the trade screen, and we go to this drop down, and we have this new section here called My Search Templates, and in it you'll see My Stocks. So if I choose My Stocks, this is going to give me only the stocks that meet the criteria that I have specified. And here it is. There's just one. This one Apple trade that came in today is the only one that is that meets all the criteria that I've set. So if you have a very specific set of stocks or set of criteria that you're looking for that aren't predefined in one of these templates, you can create your own, and you can create as many as you want. You go back here, click Search Templates again, or New Search Template, excuse me, create another search template. It could be for the same tickers or different tickers. It can have different criteria. You can mix and match and create as many of these as you like. And if you decide you don't want it anymore, just click this little trash can. It's deleted and gone forever. And now you don't see that anymore in this list. So that's custom templates. Let's do one more here. There's another button up here with that will allow you to export to Excel. So by default, you get 50 rows per page. This will tell you down here that it's showing rows 1 to 50 out of 857 values that were returned, and you can page through them one at a time. But you can also export to Excel, and you just click this button. It builds out a new spreadsheet for you, and voila. Now you have all that same information And you can do what you want with it. If for whatever reason you were interested in creating some charting in Excel, or you had some other spreadsheet configured that helped you make decisions about what to trade and when to trade and so on, you might want to import some of this data into your process and use it however you like. So that's it. Export as much as you want. It's only going to export a page at a time, though, so this is not a vehicle for exporting millions of rows of data. This is going to let you get, smaller subsets of whatever you like. And that actually leads me to another important point. There are limits to this search. There are 20 years of trades in here for 4,800 plus tickers right now. So millions and millions and millions and millions of trades are logged. You shouldn't expect to be able to say, give me every trade from day one across every ticker and have the system pump out, millions of trades at a time. So use this judiciously. If you are doing a search and you're not getting any results, it's probably because your search criteria are too wide and it's timing out. So, if you want a year's worth of data, don't ask for more than one ticker, and don't ask for every single trade without narrowing the criteria to perhaps the larger trades or the more relevant trades. There's probably not much value in getting 100,000 rows back of insignificant trades. So when you're doing a search, make sure they're of sufficient relative size, they're ranked, or they're in a certain percentile, whatever it is. But create narrower searches rather than wide searches. And the system will tell you if it times out, but use your head. It should be pretty clear early on if you've asked for too much data. Okay, so I think that's it. And then lastly, this video is going to be accessible by clicking on this little button here. So if you get stuck somewhere along the way, you can't remember something, you can click this icon, watch the video one more time, and review anything. And of course, as always, if you get stuck and you have questions, you can click this link down here, and it'll allow you to email me, or you can find me on Twitter and send me a DM. I'm always happy to answer questions, try and help where I can. But hopefully a lot of the questions, or a lot of the answers to the questions you may have, are in this video, or perhaps on my pinned tweet or somewhere else. Sometimes you can find answers to your questions by clicking on this Getting Started page here too. Might help you understand a little bit about site mechanics and where to find data and that sort of thing. So that's it. If I've missed anything, again, reach out, let me know. The YouTube channel is here if you want to watch other videos, and the link to my Twitter is here, and of course you can send me an email. And that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.